Hey guys, what is up? So a viewer in one of my comment threads under a video asked if I would talk a little bit about sleep paralysis. So I'm going to tell you up front, this is going to be a fairly short video because my experience, my practical experience with the terrifying, debilitating, lock you in place, can't move a muscle type of sleep paralysis is very limited. I've only experienced that twice in my life. One of the times it was scary, and the other time I knew that I could use it to project, and so it was more of a launch pad to projection than anything else, and it didn't turn out to be a scary situation. So I did want to go ahead and make a video on it, though, just to get the topic out there to start discussing. I've got a couple of theories I wanted to run by you guys and get your thoughts on, and then just make a couple of other comments based on some conversations I've had with three other folks after that comment was posted in the thread. So first theory is that I probably experience that severe sleep paralysis regularly and anytime I project. And so my theory is that my body is probably paralyzed, completely stuck in place, but I just don't notice it because at that point I'm rolling out of body, leaving my paralyzed body behind. And so then if I were to just remain in my body, maybe past the vibrations and not try to get out, and not try to separate, maybe I would experience that sort of severe sleep paralysis. I don't know. So wanted to get your thoughts on that. And then the second theory is that maybe my body doesn't need to paralyze me as severely as others do. So for those of you who aren't familiar with sleep paralysis, you've never experienced it, or you're new to this topic, the whole idea of it is that it's a physiological response that your body has to the dream state, and it's to keep your body safe while you're sleeping. So your body doesn't want you to act out your dreams, or your mind doesn't want you to act out your dreams, and potentially put your body in harm's way while you're dreaming or sleeping. So it'll paralyze it and just keep it in place during the night. All right, so my second theory on this is that my body doesn't need to do that as severely because I lie down, and I sleep like a log all night long, and I'll wake up in the same position that I fell asleep in. So I do get the general numbing of my body, that general sensation of numbing where I lose sensitivity in all my limbs and lose track of my body in general. But it's something I can just break out of at anytime I want to. So on the other hand, I've got a friend who sleepwalks quite a bit, and he experiences sleep paralysis like crazy, just very, very severe sleep paralysis. And so my theory is that maybe his body needs to generate that sort of severe sleep paralysis in order to keep him safe, in order to keep him in bed, where my body being just accustomed to just lying down and just remaining in that same position all night long, the paralysis, that same level of deep paralysis just isn't necessary. So those are my two theories. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. All right, so the conversations that I've had with other people, I've talked to three different people who've experienced sleep paralysis ever since they were kids. For all three of them, it started out as a very terrifying thing that was coupled with hallucinations and auditory noises and, the sounds of people walking in their house and coming in their room. And one of the people I was talking to actually pointed me to a documentary on Netflix that I'd share. It was actually really good. It was called The Nightmare, and they interview several people who've had this sort of scary sleep paralysis type, these scary sleep paralysis episodes where they see aliens or they see shadow creatures or entities or things like that in their room. And after watching that, it kind of gave me an appreciation for where, um, those people who say astral projection is horrible and bad and scary, it kind of gave me an appreciation for where they're coming from. Because if you got yourself into these states, which sleep paralysis often, like I said, is a launch pad into an out-of-body experience. If you can get yourself into that paralysis state and you never see that positive aspect of projection, I could see that would pretty quickly, pretty quickly make you decide that was something you never wanted to do again. So I'll tell you my reaction to that movie wasn't what you might expect it to be. I saw all of the terrifying things people were experiencing, and my reaction was, I want to do that. Just because I've gotten to this point where it's almost like an amusement park ride or a roller coaster ride where, you're 100% sure that you can't be harmed. And so it's a thrill. It's like it gets your heart racing and makes you feel alive, and it's just one more thing that I want to experience, that I want to say that I've done. So it may be that I'll never experience that because, like I said, I just can't get this paralyzed state to hit me deeply enough. Uh, but I would love to. I'd love to have all of those scary things happen to me just once, just so I could see what it's like. So maybe that's crazy. But definitely check out this documentary and see if you can relate to it, because the guy I was talking to said it described his experience almost identically. One more thing I'll mention is that in the video one of the guys talked about seeing these static type creatures, these creatures that were made up of static, almost like television static. And I thought that was interesting because one of my experiences, I actually ran into a static creature, and when I grabbed hold of him, my hand started vibrating like crazy. So it's interesting how we have the same sorts of experiences when we see creatures or things like that out of the body. We're all sort of wired the same way, I think. So that is all of my vast experience with sleep paralysis. I know, not a lot, but I wanted to just get this topic out there so we could start discussing it and see if anybody else has anything they want to share on the topic. Um, so, as always, like, comment, subscribe, help me build this community, and please share your experiences. If anybody is interested in doing like a Skype conversation on sleep paralysis, and if it's something that you've got a lot of experience, or you're one of those people who've gone through this ever since you were a kid or something, I would love to do a Skype conversation or record it and get some more useful information on it out there. I'll talk to you guys soon.